Good morning. I hope y'all are doing well today. So today's story is very unusual stories. They're strange, unsolved mysteries. And the first one, we're going to go ahead and get started in it, is called The Ghost Sniper of New Jersey. An unidentified ghost sniper haunted the Garden States beginning in November of 1927 in Camden, New Jersey. The car of Albert Woodruff and several other vehicles had their windshields shattered by bullets that weren't found on the scenes. A city bus on the Camden Bridge had its windshield broken too. Another bus on the Federal Street Bridge came under fire. More homes suffered attacks and a store window was broken. In all of these cases, no one was injured except by flying glass, and the bullets just vanished into thin air. Now, the mysterious sniper visited Collingswood and Lindenwood, New Jersey, and also briefly traveled to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His targets were mainly private automobiles, taxis, trolleys, buses, residences, and also he did fire at least one police officer. Only one single witness testified to hearing the report of the shot. Another believed he heard a man's sinister laugh, but the other victims said they'd heard and seen nothing. The attack suddenly stopped in 1928, despite police investigations and a few copycats whose missiles, like a blue marble or a screw, were discovered at the scenes. The ghost sniper and his phantom bullets were never found. Our next story is very interesting, and you can look it up. You can find some paperwork on the FBI page. They have files that you can see old files from old cases. Type in William Foos, F-O-O-S, or Margaret Foos, just spelled Margaret regular, M-A-R-G-A-R-E-T, Foos, F-O-O-S. She is considered the blind reader in January of 1960. Now, although there was nothing wrong with Margaret's vision, at the age of 15, Margaret Foos was skilled at blind reading books through touch alone while tightly blindfolded. Now, this is not Braille. With her father's encouragement, she practiced and nurtured her talent. William Foos believed that he discovered a way of teaching the blind people to see through their skin in a form of extrasensory perceptions, what they were calling it. As his first pupil, Margaret was to demonstrate this method. Now, in 1960, Foos took his daughter to the Veterans Administration Center, the VA, in Washington, D.C., to be subjected to scientific tests by psychiatrists. Now, while wearing a foolproof blindfold supplied by the VA doctors, Margaret used her hands to read sections of the Bible, identify objects and colors, trace lines. She played checkers, and there were a whole bunch of other tests performed. Her father was in the room, but he did leave occasionally, and it did not appear that he was giving her any signals. Now, in the end, the VA psychiatrist admitted that they were baffled, but they insisted that although Margaret had passed all their tests, they couldn't explain how she'd done it, and therefore they couldn't admit that she could see without using her eyes. So, was she fooling everyone, or did she truly, genuinely have extrasensory power? Who knows? But the FBI, though, they thought enough of the idea of the blind reading to investigate William Foos and his claims. And like I said, you can look those reports up. Our next story is about the Electric Girl of 1846. Her name is Angelique Cottin, Cottin. And you can find more information on the web about her as well. Now, she was a 14-year-old peasant girl from La Pierre in the Normandy region of France. She began distressing her friends with her strange powers. She became known as the Electric Girl for the poltergeist-like effect she had on objects, such as making a weaving frame dance around the room or a heavy table float through the air. Now, chairs moved away when she tried to sit on them, and beds wouldn't stay still, y'all. People received electric shocks when they came near. Papers and pens would fly off of tables when she'd hold out her left hand. Now, Angelique also suffered convulsions and injuries due to the frequent violent movements made by her body. Her parents believed that she was possessed and took her to church, but a priest convinced them that the girl's powers had a physical cause, not a spiritual one. The next step was examination by the scientists in Paris, including famous physicist Francois Arago, Arago, who said the phenomena were genuine and a result of magnetism. Now, against the scientists' advice, the Cottons decided to exhibit Angelique to paying customers. And in 1846 of April, just a few short months after all this ordeal began, the unexplained phenomena inexplicably stopped and she lost all of her electrical powers for good. We also have the case of rare seeds. The Reign of Seeds, February 1979. Roland Moody of Southampton, England, was startled to hear small solid objects begin hitting the glass of his conservatory attached to his house. Now, the objects turned out to be hundreds of seeds. They were small mustard seeds and cress seeds coated in a gel-like substance. More seeds continued to fall during the day, and eventually it covered his whole garden. One of his neighbors, Miss Stockley, told Moody that she had experienced something very similar the previous year. And the following day, Moody's home had been struck with corn, pea, and bean seeds that seemed to just simply fall out of the sky. His neighbors on both sides were also pelted with peas and beans. Only those 3 houses in the neighborhood were targeted for the bizarre shower of seeds, and a police investigation was unable to pinpoint the source. The phenomena gradually decreased and went away, but by that time, Moody and his neighbors had endured 25 separate barrages and collected 10 pounds of beans from their gardens. Now, Moody himself gathered 8 buckets of cress seeds. He claimed the produce that was grown from the seeds was of very good quality. Both Moody and Stockley were interviewed for Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World television series in 1980. To date, no adequate explanation can explain the weird showers that had been found. So I hope you have enjoyed this Mystery Monday as we have talked about several strange unsolved mysteries. See you next time.